my name is Ikaika. I am the FirstVet CFO. FirstVet is a digital veterinary practice. So we basically, I think the easiest way to explain it is really that we are a veterinary practice that happens to be online. We offer digital veterinary consultations with licensed veterinarians. We had the issues of as I mentioned, we're across 6 different geographies. So we also at one point in time we also had 6 different ERP systems, which was very complex. It was an onerous process to not just reconcile the books, but then also to remember what have I done, what FX rates are we using, trying to have the same method across the different geographies. It was just very complex. And one of the things that I really needed help with was to reconcile the books quicker, to have a single source of truth, something that I knew that I could rely on. The Abacum onboarding team is amazing. So getting the support from the Abacum onboarding team as well to basically figure out, like, this is how a lot of companies have done this. This is the process that I would recommend. Really did help us in trying to find a very good solution to quickly reconciling. Having a system where together with the onboarding team to find a process of, like, this is a way that you could reconcile your books was super helpful, because we could basically just bin the old Excel spreadsheet that we had. You guys do have API connections as well. With a lot of the different ERP systems out there. It's the overall flexibility, whereas I think a lot of companies that are either running NetSuite or Oracle, SAP, the larger ones, it's not going to be an issue to have a direct integration. But even if you don't have these direct integrations, Abacum does have a very nice solution for that as well. In terms of going from getting the green lights from my financial controller that the books are closed to actually creating like a management report, I've probably finished or reduced the time with about 5 working days. We had a rather complex system, having 5 different types of currencies and all that jazz. So it very much depends on the complexity of the company, but if you have a complex setup, then this is probably the efficiencies that I would be expecting. So my team is operating more efficiently. We're reconciling the books a lot quicker with better accuracy. Coming to decisions quicker, so being able to draw conclusions quicker, because my team can spend more time on running analysis as opposed to just having a reporting function. A lot better reporting. So instead of me spending time on actually reporting, I can also spend more time on the storytelling aspect. So if I'm in a fundraising process, I haven't been in a fundraising process having used Abacum yet, but I can imagine that now that it is in place for future processes, I'm going to be able to spend more time on the storytelling aspect. To have a system where we could document kind of like both what we've reported in the past, so you can we'll lock the reports that we send to the boards, that we can always go back and see what was it that we actually did send back in January, what did we say in February, so that you can have a complete storytelling over the course of time that you share with the board. I think is very helpful. And same thing there, to have this single source point of truth. I was the stubborn finance executive that's like, my company's not ready for this. We can still use Excel spreadsheets for quite a long while. And I was a bit too stubborn, a bit too long, and I should have listened to Julio back in, when was this? It's probably like early 2022, that I should have run over to this. I should have migrated over to Abacum already then. But I was, first of all, I spoke with friends that are also within the space, that I knew that had used Abacum. As well as I've met some people on different CFO summits and similar that were using Abacum as well, that were basically saying what I'm saying now. They were like, it's a great system for, if you need a system, because the biggest headache I had was reconciliation at the time. So for me, I think that was the strongest selling point that I got. And when they were saying like, no, like it's great in terms of this, it's a flexible system.